Hey man,
What up,
you know
Tom?
something?
Mm,
I think, I just think that we're actually live right now.
we are live, yeah.
We're
It-
100% live and direct.
We are.
And I'm getting messages here still, taking care of business as usual. And yeah, man, we'll let some people trickle in. How are you doing
Sorry,
today, man?
I couldn't hear you over the sound of my hydration. What did you say?
Um,
That's not water.
Not much. This right here, it's mineral water. This straight from the mud,
Really?
straight from
That's
Mother
mineral
Earth.
water.
Yes, sir.
Wow, okay, okay,
Yeah, you gotta learn the lingo, man. You gotta learn this whole thing. How are
okay.
you doing today, man?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. Looking at the market, I've been dollar cost averaging my way into stuff because the market's been showing some strength. Now the
Right.
market's doing better. I'm definitely doing better. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm just looking at this whole thing. Very nice green days we're having. And so far, so good. I mean, last week's performance was pretty good. The week before that, not that much, but I heard there's a supply shock in the market. I'm
I
pretty
heard
sure a
there
lot of
was
our
suspension shock.
viewers, yeah, a lot of our viewers probably heard about it. So, this live stream, we're going to really discuss that. And we're going to discuss the performance. The monthly candle closed yesterday, I believe. Wasn't it yesterday, I believe?
Yeah, yeah, the other day,
I
yeah,
think so.
yeah,
And yep, pretty
yeah.
interesting things happening in the market. And I just smell it. I just smell signs of reversal. So,
And it's not just you, man. And that's what everyone's asking themselves right now. Everyone is wondering, are we right to be hopeful or is this a bull trap? That's what we got to be wary of. And folks, this is a jam-packed episode. We've prepared a bunch of different stuff to share with you guys. Like Messon just mentioned, some very interesting on-chain metrics. And we're going to run through some of the critical levels we're looking at to understand whether things are bullish or bearish because man, it's super interesting times. I've been saying, let me know what you think about this.
go
I've been
ahead.
saying on the channel for weeks that for us to be bullish again, we need to do three things. We need to make higher highs, higher lows, and flip major resistance and support. So far, I think Bitcoin has arguably done two of those things. I think it's flipped the 200 EMA on the daily and the 50-day SMA, both previously highly price reactive moving averages into support, and we made a higher high above the June 15th relief rally. So
Right.
there are those reasons to think that Bitcoin's bullish. Now, if for this pullback here, if we can put it in a higher low, then I think we have a better than not chance of perhaps breaking above certain layers of resistance here. But do you think that's a good way of putting it? Those three things we got to look out for.
I do think so. I think we can actually make a list out of it. But yeah, I think that fully encapsulates, what you should be observing during this whole time, right? We need to see those levels being broken. We need to see retests. We need to see retests, solidified retests with a bunch of volume, and we need to see what's happening on chain. We need to make sure that more addresses are being created. We need to check the health of the network, blockchain overall, and again, every month we're having a close that actually signifies the strength and actually better represents how confident buyers are in the market. And we're having nice closes, nice closing candle, nice closes for the days for the candles on the weekly. And again, we're at the upper range right now. We're setting, what do we have right here? Let's see here. So on the weekly last week, we actually closed at the 39,845, which is
Yeah.
not bad because the closing, ever since we started moving down, the closing we had, the highest one was 39,000 exactly. So we're pushing up. MACD's pushing up. RSI looks like once we broke out of that resistance we've been having. And look, man, I mean, we got to take that into account. Also take what's happening outside of the chart with all the regulations, the crackdowns and all. Why are you smiling, man?
I just saw
Well,
one
am
of
I
the.
a joke to you, man?
Well, I mean, I
What did they
saw
say?
I saw one of the comments. I think Crypto Juzzy saying, "Why the fuck do you guys have sunglasses on?" Cringe. Yes, Crypto Jizzy wears
Juzzy,
Juzzy.
Juicy. Your name is cringe.
We bust out the sunglasses when we're bullish. So
Exactly.
yeah, when our future is too bright, we need the sunglasses to protect ourselves.
100%. Let him know, man.
Yeah, so
Crypto
I
Juzzy.
suppose Crypto Juzzy wouldn't understand something like that, but it's just something
Exactly,
we have
man.
to
You gotta have
deal
some
with.
style
So
in this game.
yeah.
But let's
Um,
start off, man. What do you think here? Let's just start off. I think I'm
should
just
we
gonna
delve
take
into
off
it?
my shades because I genuinely can't see anything. I really can't see no comments whatsoever.
Yeah,
So I'm
okay.
about to switch that up real quick, man.
Yeah.
There we go. Boom. Now we can see you guys live and clear.
Yeah. So should we just maybe start to delve into it?
Let's look at Bitcoin, man.
All right. So folks, all right, we have some pre-prepared kind of segments for y'all. Okay, we're gonna do kind of a market update, run through Bitcoin, Ethereum, some major alts, some major news, go over our portfolio, and then kind of do a brief Q&A near the end. So make sure you guys, if you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comments and we'll address them. So folks, to start off with Bitcoin here, Bitcoin, in my opinion, is nearing what was at a major critical inflection point. This red trend line drawn from all-time highs to next lower high is absolutely critical that we get above if we want to see bullish continuation. Because folks, if we go back to 2017, 2019, and bear with me, it's going to take a moment to kind of drag along here, but it'll be worthwhile.
Take your time, buddy.
Folks, look at this. Look at this. We form similar patterns all the time. Look at this. Major impulse. This was the false 2019 bull market. We form a top here, lower high, draw a trend line, extend that. Price came up to retest it, got rejected. It was bearish confirmation. Price continued to trend downwards. Also, if we go back to the 2017 top here, all-time high, next lower high, trend line. Price came back up to retest it, got rejected. Price continued to go down. Folks, this kind of pattern has historically been very, very significant. And I think history is maybe not repeating, but certainly rhyming, where we're testing it and we're currently finding rejection. This is a big deal if we see continuation of this downtrend. But it's not the end-all be-all, and it's not the worst thing in the world that we're currently getting rejected off this level at the moment, because we've had, I think I'm not sure if it's a record for sure, but it's definitely up there where we had the most consecutive daily green candles in a row, 10 on Coinbase. On some other exchanges, it wasn't 10 in a row. I think it was like 8 or 9, but this was insanely bullish. It's only happened a handful of times in history. We had this many green days in a row. So the fact that we're now pulling back after 10 days of nothing but green is totally to be expected. I think the key for having some short-term hope and being short-term bullish is continuing to remain above the 200 EMA on the daily here. Because, folks, every single previous relief rally got rejected exactly off this moving average. And so if we are to remain bullish, we need to confirm that we flipped previous strong resistance into now strong support. So as long as we remain above 38,700, I think Bitcoin has some hope of being short-term bullish and breaking above this level. Ultimately, for me, if Bitcoin breaks above basically 42K, comes back down, retests it, holds it as support, makes it higher high above the previous relief rally, then in that case only do I think Bitcoin is ready to see bullish continuation. And in that case, I would feel vastly more comfortable buying into altcoins on a bullish retest, but only once we break out, because as we saw earlier back in 2017, 2019, when we formed a similar pattern and we found rejection, we saw bearish continuation. So it's absolutely key that Bitcoin breaks above this level. Now, folks, Messi mentioned this earlier, but I want to bring it up again. We're seeing some bullishness on the weekly. This is a very green candle, although we saw a long wick to the upside, which long wicks are typically not good. But aside from the weekly, I think the monthly chart is super interesting, folks. Look at this monthly candle, long wick to the downside, very, very bullish to see. We've been seeing every single monthly candle for the last 3 months have long wicks to the downside, which is a very, very bullish sign. And folks, look at this candle here where we have a long wick to the upside, long wick to the downside, and kind of just the candle body in the middle. This is typically signals a reversal point. So just how we saw this reversal candle at the top, we're now seeing a similar reversal candle here at the bottom, followed by a very bullish monthly candle. So this tells me that we likely than not could see bullish continuation. Very good candle to see. Now, in the short term, guys, we are seeing bearish divergence play out. So the 4-hour RSI, we're putting in a higher high in price action paired with lower high in RSI. Very, very bearish. So we'll see how far we go down. If we lose the 200 EMA on the daily, I think next stop is the 50-day SMA. Let's see if that holds. If these two levels cannot hold, if we get daily candles closing below these two levels, then folks, we're probably going to retest these lows. And if we retest these lows, the more times we test the region, the more likely we are to break through. So I think these are the two critical moving averages we got to maintain if we want Bitcoin to be short-term bullish. 200 EMA on the daily and 50 SMA here. So unfortunately, man, I didn't time myself right at the beginning here. So allow me a moment to keep going on here. But something else I want to bring up that is incredibly significant to keep in mind is the GBTC discount. Folks, GBTC is Grayscale's investment Bitcoin product geared towards institutional investors. And so this thing is essentially just a synthetic version of Bitcoin. Right now, it's 5.99% cheaper than spot Bitcoin. And as long as there's a discount of GBTC to spot Bitcoin, I do believe institutional buying pressure is going to be driven away from Bitcoin and towards GBTC. So what I'm trying to say here is, as long as this discount exists, I think Bitcoin's going to have a tough time seeing new all-time highs. But we are seeing some hope where the discount is slowly diminishing. So the more this discount can trend towards zero, I think the more buying pressure from institutions will be diverted away from GBTC and towards spot Bitcoin. So basically, as the days and weeks go on, as close to summer gets to zero, the more and more bullish I'll get on Bitcoin. Now, something I mentioned in a previous video, but I want to mention again very briefly here, is we're seeing two very positive catalysts. We're seeing the global funding rate turn positive and the global interest rate turn positive as well, or at least trending up. Why is this significant? Global funding rates, folks, this is just a metric of who's getting paid on futures platforms to trade. Whenever most of the market is long, shorts get paid to hold shorts. Whenever most of the market is short, longs get paid to hold longs, because it's all in an effort to try and maintain a peg. So whenever the funding rate is positive, it's telling us that shorts are getting paid to short because most of the market is long. So a positive funding rate means most of the market is long, which is bullish. Global interest has been increasing. What this tells us is the amount of futures contracts that are open and existing in the world. And the more open interest goes up, the more participants there are in the market. And this is typically interpreted as a very bullish sign. So as long as global funding rate remains positive and open interest continues to uptrend, that tells me that buyers in the market are in the market. And I know you wanted to bring this up too, man, but the fact that we've been seeing Bitcoin dramatically start to leave exchanges is bullish confirmation. And this massive exodus of Bitcoin leaving exchanges was the tipping point that led me to dollar cost average my way into this market. Because yes, we broke above 200 EMA. Yeah, we made a higher high. But this is confirmation in my mind. The less Bitcoin held on exchanges, the more bullish Bitcoin is, because the less potential selling pressure. If demand's consistent or increasing and supply goes down, price goes up. So that's what I have. Forgive me for going over time here, but what do you think, Ben?
No, I think it's pretty good, man. And that, yeah, if we're actually talking about, we did see a huge amount of Bitcoin actually do leave, exchanges overall to wallets. But just to follow up on that as well, with the whole thing, you guys are probably seeing everywhere right now. With everyone's talking about a supply shock, you'll see it even on big crypto channels, because it's actually huge, and that's something signifying what's actually to come in the market. So after we had a long time of consolidation, almost 3 months, 2 months and a half, 3 months of just sideways action, and things are happening. It's very tight range that we're having overall. We reached an area. So overall, in the beginning, a couple of weeks before this, we were talking about how these coins or these assets are actually being exchanged. And the last time those coins that are being sold at this level right here, at the 35,000 down to the 30,000 level, actually moved last somewhere closer to the top regions over here, and they're being sold at a lower price, right? So it's all the newbies, I guess, whatever you want to call them. So all the people that were actually buying the top, those assets were actually getting redistributed to long-term holders. And now we're seeing that they're actually hoarding it, because recently, this is just a quick article, which we'll also leave in the description later as soon as we're done with this. So investor behavior further mimics the change in sentiment. We're seeing that strong holders or hodlers with little to no history of selling their Bitcoin are now back in control at levels never seen before, since Bitcoin's current all-time high. So this means, this is the actual chart. You can actually see it on Glassnode as well, but there's just a screenshot of it. And we're seeing that the market, this is the liquid supply chart of Bitcoin in the market right now, meaning the market right now, we're having so much hoarding of those coins, so much hoarding of assets. People are moving those assets outside of the market. And now what happens is, when we have an illiquid market, it gets easier and easier and easier for us to actually move the price action a lot more. So usually, if you're in a typical market, it's going to take you what, for example, like 30 million to move Bitcoin, let's say 1% up. If you are in an illiquid market, it's going to take you a lot less to move that because there's no liquidity. What that means for you is if you're holding whatever you're holding, if you're holding VeChain, Ethereum, Cardano, whatever altcoin, whatever meme coin you're actually in, be ready for a lot of volatility to come in. We are betting on it actually being to the upside. So we're going to see some explosive price action. But the fact that the market is illiquid, you got to understand and be ready and be careful that there's a huge turn that's coming soon, and it's actually going to catch us off guard simply because there's not a lot to move the market right now. It's going to take us less and less. Even if we're moving upside, it's not going to take much for us to actually explode up in that direction. But yeah, man, that's the only thing I want to add here.
Yeah, man, no, that makes a lot of sense. Like for me, man, if we get that final bit of bullish confirmation, break above that trend line, then I think there's enough in this recipe for us to have a second leg of the bull run. I just think we need to be very cautious about potential bull trap and just wait for that last bit of bullish confirmation. But yeah, man, that's pretty much all I had for Bitcoin.
Oh, perfect. So I guess if we're gonna talk about, we're talking about altcoins and what's the effect on that and what's happening in the market, we obviously need to talk, with about the king of the altcoins, Ethereum. I think Ethereum will also still, pave the way for the whole altcoin market, and we're seeing some good signs as well. So if we're looking at the monthly here, guys, we went all the way up to the what do we have here, to the 4,370. Came back down, retested these lower levels. We actually spent, a couple months to actually break above, somewhere close to the 1,700 region, formed a nice hammer candle on the monthly. So the bigger the time frame is, the more, on a macro scale is going to show us what that means for the market. And I like to see this. We went up a couple of months of consolidation or sideways movement. Last month, sellers tried to push us all the way down. Buyers didn't accept that and pushed it actually above when we closed at 25,000. And look, candle closing at higher time frames, at higher, if we're looking at the monthly and the weekly, is extremely significant because it's painting how confident the market is in the current price action, right? So if we're seeing that close, actually this price movement to the bottom got rejected by the buyers and they moved back up and actually pushed it above in the whole month period, that's a very good bullish sign. But still, overall, we saw a lot of wicks on the bottom here with Ethereum. Are we overextended? Yes, we are. And obviously, if Bitcoin continues to move up, we're going to see that flag actually going to Ethereum as well. They move in tandem, but overall, very nice bullish candle to see on the monthly for Ethereum. And now, if we're looking at the weekly as well, and if we zoom out for a bit, you'll see that here the past 2 weeks, we're starting to actually move up in terms of the MACD. Now, the RSI, that's the main thing I want to focus on right now, because the RSI, if we're above the 70 level, we're an oversold region, overbought region. If we're below the 30 level all the way here, we're an oversold region, expecting some sort of reversal. But as well, the 50 level is the medium, is the neutral. And anywhere, if we're between the 50 and the 70 region, we are in an uptrend. And if we're actually below that, we are in a downtrend. And you'll see here that as soon as, Ethereum starts to go back down, and if we zoom out, if we just zoom in again, we'll see that here, at this point right here, somewhere closer to March, that's when we actually broke out of that $2,000 region and continued to push back up. This is a very significant level for me. Why? Because there's a squeeze between supply and demand, and then eventually more supply, more demand was in the market, and we actually shot right back up. So this is a very critical level that the whole market is looking at, and you'll see that over here, a couple weekly candles where we actually just touched it 1, 2, and 3 times, exactly 1,700, and the market just rejected any price action to the bottom. So that's something we need to pay attention to. And add the fact that the RSI actually found support at the 50 level and maintained the level between where we're actually uptrending. That's a good sign for me as well, that this was some sort of a relief. We're going to need to consolidate for a bit. Everything's going crazy. Too much fun in the market also added to that. And yeah, we're at a very significant level. MACD sticking back up. RSI's finding that level support at the 50. And weekly closing recently, which we didn't really have. So something significant you need to see. We saw a lot of weeks to the upside. a lot of wicks to the upside, as we were downtrending, and now those wicks are actually being translated to the bottom. First, nice hammer candle last week, where just complete domination by the buyers, and then we see as well a nice follow up the week after, and just a little bit of a wick at the top side. Tell me, that's not a lot of sellers in the market right now. So again, man, I don't want to prolong this too long, but there's a lot
No,
of
it's
good
fine.
signs in the market, guys, that you need to pay attention to. And again, I think just the fact that the market is illiquid at the moment, that's going to affect altcoins, it's going to affect Bitcoin, and volatility is waiting for us around the corner. So be careful, guys.
It's not just the fact that it's a liquid; it's just that the illiquidity is increasing. Again, Bitcoin leaving exchanges, staking on Ethereum 2.0, which locks up ETH for like a year, has been increasing. We have EIP 1559 coming. What is it, like next month or like
Oh yeah.
no, this month? This month, make Ethereum
Hopefully they don't
deflationary.
move it, man.
Man, like if we just have a little bit more bullish confirmation, then the formula is there for this market to see bullish continuation and have a next leg up. I just think we need that extra bit of confirmation. Folks, this is absolutely critical information. You guys have got to like and subscribe and hit that bell
Like it,
icon to be
folks.
notified of new uploads. Literally, the more likes we get, the more views we get. Folks, smash that like button. If we get like a sudden spike of likes, YouTube will recommend the live stream more. So, folks, smash that like button. I also see Crypto Nate in the chat here. What up, man? Saying you guys were right about meme coins. They are shit coins. Man, we're just saying.
I
We're just saying.
mean, we might know what we're talking about, man.
Because yeah, the thing about those coins is like only the people that got in super early make money. Once there's any kind of hype, it's done. And how do you know
Yeah.
what's anyways? Yeah, let's not delve into that. But just to briefly add to Ethereum, it's very significant that our assignment, because the bears tried to bring the momentum, the strength to the bear side, but the bulls took over. They said, we're not breaking down. And also that momentum on the MACD, it's just confirmation. So yeah, man, there's reasons to be optimistic. Not only that, if we like go back to the daily here, if we go to my chart briefly, Ethereum made a higher high above the early July relief rally. Very good. We're seeing bullish divergence above the trend line based off these relief rallies here. Very good to see. So we flipped major resistance into support. The 200 EMA, 200 SMA, 21 EMA in the 6 hour, 200 EMA in the 10 hour. All EMAs that have been historically very price reactive, folks. I don't bring these EMAs up arbitrarily. I choose these EMAs specifically because of how historically price reactive they've been.
There's a method to the madness,
There's a
people.
method to the madness. So, folks, we're right up against strong resistance from basically 2,700 to 3,000. We have a Fibonacci level right there, macro Fibonacci level. We had these previous relief rallies. So, Ethereum has strong resistance above it. It's overextended. I wouldn't be surprised if we have a pullback in the short term. Ultimately, for me to think, if I want to think that Ethereum is short term bullish, I think we need to remain above the 21 EMA on the 6 hour. Very good EMA for calling short-term price action, in my opinion. As long as we're above this, we're short-term bullish. If we break below it, we're short-term bearish. That's all I have to say about it.
Definitely. So what else you got, man?
Yeah, folks. So I wanted to briefly mention some critical levels with Cardano and VeChain. Folks, again, when we bring up certain moving averages, I try and select moving averages that have been extremely price reactive because there's so many EMAs, SMAs, ribbons. How do you know what to look at? Well, I try and find what's the most price reactive on a macro time frame. I think specifically for Cardano, the 100 EMA on the daily is very, very important. Historically, has been a strong base of support. Support here, support here, support here. All throughout the uptrend, it was constant support. We've been breaking down recently from it. And during the most recent relief rally, we're getting rejected exactly off it. So, folks, whenever you want to find out when an impulse will end, find a moving average that holds the support, the length of the impulse. Typically speaking, most of the time, not always, most of the time we break below it, it's the end of the uptrend. So the fact that Cardano is finding rejection and can't get above it is extremely concerning. So for me to be short-term bullish on Cardano, we have got to get daily candles closing above $1.33. Once we can do that, I'm more optimistic. But right now, we're right up against resistance. Bitcoin might have a leg down in the short term. So, folks, I'd be very wary about Cardano. If we cannot get above this level quick, we're probably going to retest 200 EMA and this dollar region. Folks, $1 has got to hold. Every time we crash, buyers came in about $1. If we find a rejection here, go for a leg down. If we make a lower low, guys, $1 is the last stand for Cardano. Buyers have got to get in them. The longer we stay below this moving average, the more I'm concerned. So 100 EMA on the daily, $1.33, super critical for Cardano, in my opinion. Now, moving on to VeChain, one of my favorite altcoins. VeChain is currently testing a critical inflection point. I believe there's two moving averages historically have been super price reactive, very relevant for understanding VeChain. That being the 200 EMA on the 4-hour white line and 200 EMA on the 6-hour light blue line here. Folks, look at this uptrend. Where did we find our support? These moving averages specifically. Now, all through the downtrend, we've been finding rejection off these. But right now in the short term, we're trying to break above these. So for VeChain to be bullish, I think VeChain needs to have daily candles fully closing above 200 EMA on the 6-hour and 200 EMA on the daily, basically 9 cents. If VeChain can hold 9 cents confidently, actually hold 9 cents, then VeChain can see bullish continuation, but only once we flip it into support. So folks, critical levels for Cardano, $1.33. Critical level for VeChain, 9 cents. Once we get daily candles fully closing above them, that's when I think the bullish trend can continue, but not until we spend days above these levels. So, guys, these are some of my favorite altcoins. I just want to let you guys know, I think these are the most important levels to look out for. Once we flip these from resistance to support, then I think we're short-term bullish again.
Definitely, man. I think, look, that's also just an idea over in terms of just to go over what's happening overall and the whole, crypto total market cap, the whole altcoin market cap. We're seeing some of that buying appetite continue to come back into the market, right? So overall, if we're seeing here, we topped out back in what we're looking at. I'm looking at the weekly here, so maybe I'll just zoom in for a bit. We're looking at the weekly here. We topped out the 1.5 trillion in terms of total market cap of altcoins, excluding Bitcoin, and then we came back down. We came back down to the 59, what am I, 500? So let's just say 600 million overall. And not until, a couple of weeks ago that we actually had a nice, again, hammer candle. We're seeing that actually being, so if you want to have an idea of what's going to happen, or you want to gauge what's happening to the altcoin you're holding, or you're just trying to see if this is actually a good time, is the whole market actually coming back in? How's the money flow coming back into the whole altcoin space? What's happening with Ethereum? You got to look at Ethereum and what Ethereum's levels are. Is it finding that support? Is it getting rejected? And again, crypto total market cap, just for the altcoins as well, gives you a good idea of how the whole market is actually reacting to what's happening right now. And I think, whatever, levels we saw with Bitcoin, whatever levels we saw with Ethereum, now Cardano and VeChain are actually properly represented here as well. Because not until 2 weeks ago, we saw again that there's a lot of sellers that came in, and then out of nowhere, we saw more inflows, more money being pumped back into these altcoins, and actually pushed us back up to 746 billion. So again, follow through the next week. A lot of people took this as a good sign, because that's what you got to see. This candle over here is very bullish overall, and majority of the time you're going to see that the next candle is going to have some sort of a follow through that happens almost every time, because this is actually a very nice reversal candle, especially after we've been downtrending for a while, especially when it's been almost 2 months or 3 months actually close to that. So now again, we see something like this. We see that these lower levels are getting rejected, and again, this is not technical analysis specifically for just the market cap overall, but this is just giving you an idea of what's happening in the market. But nonetheless, more signs overall that there's more money being pumped back into these altcoins, and a bunch of people, are trying to buy back in, and they are. So one of the things I always like to mention is that we could have a very good analysis of what's happening in the market. We can say 1, 2, 3. If these things happen, we're back in. One of the biggest things we need to look at is that the market, we need some sort of a confirmation. And once we see the volume of people coming back in, then we can say, okay, whatever our thesis is, whatever our theory is, that the market is actually coming back in. I think, if we break those certain levels, we're going back up, we're reversing. All right, let me wait on the market to tell me. I want to see if the whole market is actually looking at the same thing I'm looking at right now. And that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing that the market is reacting positively to these levels, to these reversal signs. And again, the more volume we see, the more higher levels, we start continue in terms of market cap, continue back up to the 1 trillion. or closer to the 900 billion in terms of total market cap for altcoins, that's a very good sign. You got to follow the market. You got to follow where the money's going. And again, it depends on the risk you want to take. And if you want to, just prolong this for a bit more, if you want some more confirmation for yourself to see, I want to ride the trend, I'll wait for a bit. I don't mind missing on some profits. But then again, this is a bit more risky still with all the regulations that's happening overall. But again, we're dollar cost averaging, I guess, at the moment. For us, not financial advice. We're not financial advisors. Obviously, we don't want lawyers knocking on our door. But this is what you should 100% be looking at in terms of if you actually hold any altcoins overall.
Look, man, you put things very well, which is it serves as confirmation. That's why this specifically is so significant, because if I don't know if you can go to my screen here, but we actually
maybe if you stop pouring water on your mic, man.
What do you mean?
Nothing. It's all good, God.
Yeah, guys. So look, not only did we break above like a trend line here, but we put in a higher high. This is confirmation. The market cap tells us how much money there's in the market. So as there's more money in the market, the market's more bullish. So this is bullish confirmation. Following these market cap charts are very important to get a sense of confirmation. Putting in a higher high, that's bullish confirmation. Very good to see. So yeah, man, I agree.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So look, that's mostly what I have to say here on my end. Maybe you do want to take a second here to update the people on our paper portfolios, how they're performing.
Let's update the people on the $1 billion portfolio, man.
Yes, folks. So look, for those who don't know, me and Messin, we're both doing this. We're building a paper portfolio from scratch. We're starting with $5,000. We're dollar cost averaging $100 every week. I was inspired to begin this competition because of George from Cryptos R Us. He's just a crypto YouTuber. He's a very big crypto YouTuber.
Never heard of him.
And I really was excited about doing this competition specifically because he's heavily into Bitcoin. And I think in a bull run, I could build a portfolio that outperforms his. So we'll see if that indeed happens. It's a fun competition between me and you, and it's just fun to see who can outperform who. So look, guys, I'm up 10% so far in my portfolio. I'm adding $100 right now. So in terms of how I would approach dollar cost averaging, well, I think I'm pretty well diversified right now. I actually put out a poll the other day talking about what you guys, I asked the people, this is my portfolio, what am I lacking? And so we had 49 comments, but the common throughput I read was that I'm lacking XRP, I'm lacking Elrond, Solana, Bitcoin, and Focus. One common criticism was that I was too highly diversified, and I agree with that. So, folks, I'm not a big fan of XRP. I like Elrond, like Solana, Bitcoin. I don't think you can make a lot of money with Bitcoin. I think pretty much any one of these altcoins will outperform Bitcoin. And at this point, because I'm so diversified, I think I'm just going to add more to my existing positions. And so my current approach right now is I'm going to take a look at what am I the most down on, because this portfolio is built for long-term investing. So looking at my portfolio here, I think it was Casper Network that I'm the most down on. So I'm actually going to buy $100 worth of Casper Network to lower my average buying cost here. So let's see how long it takes for me to get 100 exactly. Fun game. So for those who don't know, Casper, that's fine, 100. So for those who don't know, Casper Network is a smart contract blockchain protocol, very similar to Ethereum, specifically geared towards institutional and business adoption. It's made so that you can create smart contracts with existing programming languages not native to crypto. So this whole Casper Network it's just geared for business adoption, and I don't think there's a leader in that niche. That's why I'm in Casper, and that's why I'm throwing $100 into Casper Network for today's $100 dollar cost average.
There we go. I don't know, for some reason I actually can't access mine for now.
Oh, maybe because I'm signed in.
Maybe, I think so. I'm not really sure. But I don't know. Is that sure? Yeah, no problem. So I can't lie, I've been lacking on this whole portfolio. I think Brendan is definitely beating me, which I hate you for that 100%. You keep stealing my style. You keep stealing my whatever, I'm hydrated, you're more hydrated. Now you got your whole total, you're up 10%. So I gotta get my shit together, man.
Yeah, yeah.
But for the short term, Matic, 100%. I'm extremely bullish on Matic. I think Matic is picking up Ethereum slack, and we see that
No.
the market is looking at the same thing. And we saw how explosive Matic was during this whole, movement up, up and down movement that we had in the past, couple of months. So I really like the price performance, and I really like what Matic stands for and how it's taking, more and more pressure off the Ethereum network. And I like how there's a lot of protocols that are actually migrating to it. And we're seeing that, and buyers also see that. I like when buyers actually see the same thing I'm seeing as well, because it could be something hidden, but if the market, just gives me a bit of confirmation that that's what the market is looking at. Besides that, obviously, I have some VeChain in there as well. But the biggest thing, man, that I've been really heavily into recently is gaming NFTs overall. And I made a video about it, Axie Infinity. If you guys didn't watch it, check it out. I know the whole, we put out a poll a couple of weeks ago. We had a bunch of people, actually, I think it was 2.5K votes, and we're saying, what are you more bullish on, DeFi or NFTs? And NFTs overall, I think, just kind of falls as well in the same category as gaming. They go kind of hand in hand. But yeah, man, I've been really big on gaming NFTs overall. Axie Infinity is one of them. It is extremely overextended to the top, but if I'm talking about price for performance, while the whole market was going down, while we're experiencing the worst FUD we've ever witnessed for Bitcoin and the whole crypto space, Axie Infinity was blowing up. And I know, I don't want to just, FOMO in just because it's blowing up. I think there are fundamentals to it that's playing out. And again, even if it falls, while I actually put some money in it right now, I'm okay with that, and I'll add more. So again, I'm not putting my whole, 100% into it. I'm giving myself still more buying power to actually dollar cost average as it goes down.
Right.
This for me is like a whole, 5-year, whatever thing. But again, man, I think it has a good use case, extremely good use case. I think the team is extremely brilliant, and yeah, man, I love the fact, the more decoupling from Bitcoin, the more decoupling from the crypto space overall. I'm fully for it. And when consumer base comes in, and we have when we have 500 1,000 daily users playing the game and actually playing to earn the token, then the bear market doesn't matter. And yeah, man, I'm adding that.
You're gonna add. So do you want me to add Axie Infinity?
Sure, yeah. Let's put it right now. Let's just put it for all people,
because
man.
you have
Put a whole billion, man.
You have $5,600 to play with here. So I mean, yeah, man, throw in a couple, whatever you choose.
Yeah, I would just say, just for the sake of it right now, let's just put a 500, man. Let's just put 500.
Oh, just 500. Okay, right on.
Yeah, man, I'm talking all that stuff, but I'm a patient. I'm extremely patient, guys. I'm very pumped for this whole thing, but I'm extremely patient, man. I'm a patient wolf.
Okay.
I'm hyping myself up for $500, guys.
Hasn't it been pumping like crazy though?
Yeah. Well, I'll add a lot more as it goes down, man.
Okay.
That's something I can comfortably ape into.
All right. All right, 4.
And yeah, guys, Brendan is my secretary, so he kind of does the legwork for me. So make sure it's
right.
Sure
you mean I handle production because you can't figure out how to sign in?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, man. No, very, very interesting. Again, guys, look, we're building a paper portfolio from scratch. This is for the long term. We're doing it at our own pace. We're going to buy and sell whenever. And at, a year from now, 2 years from now, whenever we decide to end this and take profits fully, we're both going to compare and see who outperformed who as a fun, friendly, little competition here. So yeah, folks, we'll update you guys every live stream. Again, we live stream Sundays. We're going to be adding $100. We're going to dollar cost average $100 every live stream. We'll let you guys know what we're up to for sure. So yeah, man, no, that's cool. Axie Infinity. All right, you chase the pump. Maybe next weekend you could chase another pump as well. We'll see how it goes. But no,
I'm seeing someone. No, I'm actually. I was looking at some of the comments. That's all. But yeah, no. You know what? Maybe at one point we should actually go on Cryptos or Us and actually show them what's up. We gotta show them how to do this,
man. The thing about these Bitcoiners is Bitcoin will outperform alts in a bear market. but alts will outperform Bitcoin in a bull market. And who's building a portfolio for a bear market? That's the weirdest thing. So, again, these Bitcoiners, it's almost like they're philosophically married to Bitcoin. They like the idea of Bitcoin. It's not.
They do.
Yeah, they do. And I philosophically like the idea of Bitcoin too, but it's all a matter of your priority. If your priority is to make higher returns,
I guess not
I
enough.
think
You didn't even care to put 1%, like
it,
buy point
why
0.00001 bit, just for the hell of it,
because
man.
why would I choose to make less money when I could very probably make more money with Ethereum? Like for me, it doesn't make any sense to put money into Bitcoin when Ethereum's an option. Did you take yourself? Oh, is your
And
camera going?
I was, yeah, it was just my camera. No, it didn't die. No, but keep going, man.
Look, guys, Ethereum, in my opinion, is probably going to outperform Bitcoin probably forever because it has a lower market cap. It's going to soon going to have better tokenomics, has better utility. It's moving from proof of work to proof of stake. I'm more pro proof of stake because it's much more energy efficient. There's just so many more reasons to like Ethereum. Not only did it outperform Bitcoin this cycle by like 3,000%, but again, is likely to do so moving forward due to greater utility, better tokenomics, and a lower market cap. If you have your money in Bitcoin, it's because you philosophically like the idea of Bitcoin. But if your priority is making higher returns, Bitcoin's literally the worst option. Dogecoin outperformed Bitcoin. If you take a look at the top 20, top 50 market cap, the vast majority outperformed Bitcoin and is likely to outperform Bitcoin moving forward. So again, guys, I don't want to be a Bitcoin hater. Everyone has.
You are.
No, it's just because my priority is different. Other people's priority is supporting Bitcoin in the network because they philosophically like it.
Right.
My priority is making better returns. That's what I
100%.
prioritize. So
I
if
agree,
your
man. I
priority
agree.
is higher returns, then Bitcoin doesn't make any sense.
Decouple. Yeah, I'm a big fan of decoupling, man.
Yeah,
Big fan of it.
I'm okay.
Strong believer
I
in
don't
it.
think it's gonna happen because
I genuinely don't think crypto is based on Bitcoin. Crypto has use cases, and overall, if we're looking to even store value, we got better stuff out there as well.
also
So that's what
I like Bitcoin, man. Bitcoin invented cryptocurrency. Satoshi, he made this whole endless world of smart contract possibilities possible through Bitcoin. I'm not a hater of Bitcoin. I philosophically like it, like its reasoning. I like the opportunity it gave the world and the people and the freedom it's giving the world, making this whole new financial system. I like it philosophically. But when has the first version of anything ever been the best version? Was the first car ever invented the best car? No, people improved on the original design. The first version of anything is never the best. Like, you know, people are trying to improve Bitcoin with the Lightning Network, bro. It's never going to happen. The amount of transactions per second you can make on Bitcoin is so low. It's Bitcoin for me will likely be digital gold. Ethereum is what the next global financial system will be built on. The next global social network system will be built on. Everything can be built on Ethereum. Any idea you have that could benefit from censorship resistance can be built on Ethereum. The use case is pretty much endless, while the use case for Bitcoin is extremely limiting, not to mention the tokenomics are better on
I see that
Ethereum.
fly. Sorry to cut you off, man. I got a visitor in the room here. I got a big ass fly.
Yeah,
Sorry,
man.
go ahead.
Yeah. So guys, look, I could go on a Bitcoin rant forever. Those are pretty much my thoughts. If you guys have any questions, now's the time to do it. We're gonna have a brief Q&A if anyone has any raging questions here. But look, man, do you disagree with me? You think it's important to have some Bitcoin?
No, not really. Like, no, it's not like a must. But I don't have Bitcoin in my portfolio.
I saw,
but I think it's more for the boys. That's how I think of it. It's like, Bitcoin. Like, we talk about Bitcoin every day. You don't want to even like own a bit. You get what I'm saying? That's just like more of a fun thing for me. But it's all good. You're stingy. You're shark. You want to make money.
Focus on returns,
right?
Yeah,
you don't care about anything but money, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't want to like marry Bitcoin because I like.
I know, man. Yeah, no. I think there's always something that has more, better returns overall. And again,
pretty
like,
much everything, yeah.
Right, but also something, like I always like entertaining the other thought, the other perspective, so you see, a lot of institutions, billions being poured into Bitcoin. I think there's something there that Me and you don't know. And I think there's something where smart money is actually going to.
No, but this is
So
such a bad point, because if Bitcoin is a 5x, Ethereum will do a 10x.
if you ever call it a bad point, we're
Uh-oh.
gonna have problems, man.
Did we cut off?
Can you hear me? Are you back? Hello? That's it. I think we lost our boy here.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, bro.
I'm
There
sorry.
we go.
I
He's
think I cut
back.
off.
He's back. He's back. See, they're hacking you for talking shit about Bitcoin, man.
I philosophically like Bitcoin. It's just a silly investment
What does
choice.
that mean?
That like
Philosophically, I like Bitcoin, man.
like Bitcoin started this whole crypto space. Ethereum wouldn't exist if it weren't for Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin started everything. It made this world of possibility possible, and the possibility for financial freedom and choice. It's all because of Bitcoin. It's all because of Satoshi. It's all because these people chose to invent a new form of technology. And I appreciate the people who made this whole world possible for us. But if your focus is return on investment, making a high return on investment, then Bitcoin is a very silly option, because it's likely to be the worst performing crypto over
So why
long
do you
term,
think they're buying it, those big institutions?
because they have a different focus than me. I'm willing to take greater risk on a more new, unproven coin. These institutions aren't trying to make a 500x. They're trying to make a 2x, a 3x, a 5x on something they think has a good idea of staying around. And that's what Bitcoin will do. Bitcoin over the next 5-10 years will do a 5x, 10x. It'll go to a couple 100,000. That's great. People will make solid returns. But if Bitcoin does a 5x, Ethereum will do an 8x or 10x. It just,
Right.
if your focus is returns, Bitcoin doesn't make much sense.
Definitely. But also if your focus, if you want to have some sort of, risk management associated, then you definitely need to, there's something to it that you
There is something to it, yeah.
there's something to it that you can't neglect. That, yeah, even those ones that have, high returns have a lot of risk. They have a lot of risk. A lot of rug pulls happens as well, as
Yeah.
like, depending on whatever, at one point, I'm not sure what's gonna
But
work or not.
I'm not talking about like degenning out on some brand new low cap. I'm talking about Ethereum. Like I'm
You're a
saying,
degenerate, man.
I am a degenerate, but like I'm saying, Ethereum like has
Yeah, of course. If we're
the
talking Bitcoin,
biggest,
Ethereum, man, there's
yeah,
no question, man.
the biggest risk to Ethereum is that ETH 2.0 won't succeed. It won't become scalable. They won't lower the transaction fees. That's the biggest risk. So there are a lot of unknowns. The thing about Bitcoin is that it doesn't change a lot. So there's no need to bet on some new improvement. Bitcoin is pretty much the way it is now is what it's going to be like 10 years from now. So institutions can make a bet on it because it's not going to change a lot. Ethereum
Right.
is in the midst of changing a lot. So there is an extra degree of risk with Ethereum.
Definitely.
I'm making a bet that ETH will succeed. I'm making a decision, and I could be wrong, but I'm making a
No,
bet.
I think ETH
Yeah.
is going to succeed, man. I'm betting on that as well, man. You see what happened with Grayscale, DeFi fund, DeFi
Yeah.
fund putting the top, the blue chips, Uniswap, Aave, MakerDAO, a bunch of other stuff, a Sushi Swap in there. So they see it as well. I just think, obviously, of course, whatever is more, if you want to be a bit more, just kind of manage your risk. I would say even with Ethereum, you're actually, I wouldn't say it's as equal, you're equally safe as you are with Bitcoin, but there's just a bit of more risk with Ethereum overall, but the returns, I think, really outweigh the risk, in my opinion, right?
Yeah.
So the whole, if you're betting on Ethereum, you're betting on the whole DeFi space and a lot more in NFTs and all that. So yeah, man, no, I agree with you. I just don't want you to talk shit about our Lord and Savior Bitcoin. That's it.
I just think a lot of people's like they're married to it like religiously, dogmatically, unthinkingly.
Right.
Like it's
100%. I'm seeing your question. What do you think? All those regulations made crypto centralized? If so, what is the point of it? So I guess the question, man, is crypto going to be centralized after all these regulations? What do you think?
Well, that's a good question. I think it could be in terms of centralized exchanges. Yeah, I think there's going to be a strong clamping down of regulations and rules. Folks, I think in 5-10 years, the rules behind crypto is going to be the exact same as the stock market. Crypto is the next new major asset class. There's next to no regulation. And so this year, next few years, I think we're going to go through some growing pains. And I think eventually 5-10 years from now, cryptocurrency and the regulations around it will basically be the same thing as the stock market. Oh, you either invest in the stock market or you invest in crypto. It's going to be just another asset class to trade, like the options market, forex market, stock market, and then it's going to be the crypto market. So right now, there's going to be some growing pains. It's going to be very interesting to see how things shake out. But I do think these centralized exchanges could become even more centralized. There could be winners and there could be losers in terms of exchanges, but there's always going to be decentralized on-ramp options and decentralized exchanges. So ultimately, I think there will always be a strong element of decentralization in crypto.
Definitely. And I think overall, like if he's asking about regulations, it's going to make crypto more centralized. I think some crypto will be and others won't. And I think some cryptos will actually thrive in a centralized market. And I think others are actually going to greatly suffer from it. And what I mean by that is if you're just thinking overall, the real world use case, if you're looking at banks, for example, banks are if you're sending money from Brazil down to I don't know, China, for example, right? I don't want to get banned, but let's just say China, and you need something in the middle, like Western Union or whatever the case might be, to actually where the bank actually uses Western Union to transfer that money because they have that technology. For example, I'm giving an example. I don't want to get you triggered and all that, but
Trigger me.
could XRP could be, the MoneyGram,
I
could
hope
be
so,
the
man.
Western Union,
I
right?
hope so.
They have a technology, new type of technology, and they have some sort of token, an algorithm, a hash that has some sort of value to it, and they can move money around with it better than MoneyGram, better their servers. It's a quicker way. And I think, we can still live in some sort of centralized system where banks are using a decentralized, I guess, a blockchain overall. But then again, I think there's going to be a merge. That's what it is between the actual market, the real world, and crypto. And we have to give. We have to meet in the middle. Some centralized, whatever's centralized, and the crypto, and then the real world is going to make its way to crypto, and crypto as well is going to pull that market out of a centralization. We're going to meet somewhere in the middle. So buy
Yeah.
XRP.
With XRP specifically, I think one thing that's heavily against XRP is this lawsuit. No major banking entity or corporation is going to want to partner with Ripple Labs or XRP in the middle of this major kerfuffle with the American government. So until this
But they are,
kerfuffle
man.
is less fuffled, I think
Globally, they are.
what bank is working with XRP?
Right now, like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, Bank of Oman, they moved money using SRP.
Okay,
Globally, I'm saying
there we
globally,
go.
not
Look,
America.
look, man. Like I just think there's I liked XRP a lot back in the day, specifically because I think it was vastly more undervalued. XRP right now, it's appreciated. Uh, I don't think the risk to reward ratio makes sense on XRP anymore. I think XRP 20 cents, the risk to reward ratio makes more sense. XRP at what, around $1, 80 cents, 60 cents. What's it at? I forget. I haven't even looked at XRP in months.
I'm not
Anyways,
sure.
is less attractive. I think it's more
Because you're an
overvalued now.
XRP hater. That's why.
I just think there's enough not to like with the founders and how it started that I think XRP is a bit of a compromise in terms of your investment standards. Like there's other protocols with maybe arguably similar ROI potential that have less, less sketchiness surrounding the project, the founders, the token distribution. Like it's a
Bro,
bit
all of
higher
crypto is
risk.
sketchy as hell.
Yeah.
Crypto's
There's a
sketchy as hell, man.
yeah, sure. And look, man, like I don't know. I think the risk reward ratio for myself doesn't make sense. I hope you XRP boys go to the moon. I hope every bank uses it. I hope you guys are right in the end. By the way, I see one very good comment here that I'd like to address.
Mhm.
So Karn Hardra, and let me know what you think too, says BTC's held its value better than most alts. Definitely should be the biggest allocation during a bear market along with stablecoins. So I want to address this in terms of my portfolio approach, which is yes, in a bear market, altcoins will underperform Bitcoin. Bitcoin will do better than altcoins in a bear market. But I'm not building a portfolio for a bear market. Who would do that? Why do you want to? Everything's just going to go down over time. I'm building a portfolio for a bull market. In a bear market, you should just be in stable coins because Bitcoin will go down. It will just go down less than altcoins. So in a bear market, you should just be in stables. And in a bull market, alts will outperform Bitcoin. So again, in either situation, bull market or bear market, Bitcoin doesn't make sense. It will be, yes, in a bear market, It
If
will,
you're looking for returns
if you're
only,
looking for,
so because like
if your
we gotta
highest
take
prior,
both into account, man. Like
yeah,
you gotta take the return and the risk as well.
yeah, but you can mitigate your risk through other factors like your
If you
investment time
don't know
horizon.
how, like granted, you know
Yeah, yeah,
how.
no, this is my portfolio. Like I'm managing this portfolio. I wouldn't do this to some, some person who's very new to the space. I would say, yeah, go with Bitcoin, do the easy thing. But for me, who's actively managing this, I'll move into stable coins if we drop certain support levels, right? So in a bear market, yes, Bitcoin will outperform alts, but I'm not building a portfolio for a bear market. Why would you do that? Everything will just go down in a bear market, and in a bull market, alts will outperform it. Either scenario, bull market or bear market, Bitcoin doesn't make sense. Look, if you philosophically like Bitcoin, you want to support the idea by holding some. Great, great. If you think diversification,
So
great,
for someone,
great.
which is I think is majority of our audience, right?
Yeah,
That let's say you're not that technical in terms of crypto overall.
yeah.
How do they hedge against that risk?
Through your investment time horizon. If you just hold forever, bear markets don't matter. So, for example, let's say I would have put $1,000 into Bitcoin today and $1,000 into Ethereum today, and I came back 5 years and I came back 10 years. I would bet, I could be wrong, but I think it's more probable that if we check back in 5 years and then in 10 years, Ethereum would have outperformed Bitcoin over the long term. I may end up being wrong about that, but I think there's enough good reasons to think that's probable. Um, so, like, again, the way you mitigate your risk is through your investment time horizon. And
But that means only long time like holders should be invested if they don't know how to, I guess, manage that risk.
oh
Like
yes,
basically not do anything about it.
because dude, this space is so volatile. If you don't have a long-term approach, you have to actively manage. But if you're a new person, you're probably not going to actively manage
Let's just
well.
say
So
within the next couple of years. They're looking for the next couple of years, make some
next
sort
up,
of returns on it. Yeah.
I think time horizons are very specific because I do think at some point there will be a top of this market. I think there will be some kind of bear market. So I think timing is very important to incorporate into how you approach this market. So,
So let's just say
but if
they
you wanted
want,
to, if you
yeah.
wanted to avoid the boom and bust cycles and just have something where you come back 5 years from now and you're in profit, I would say Ethereum would have outperformed Bitcoin in the next 5 years. Again, you put $1,000 in Bitcoin today and in ETH, each one $1,000. You come back 5 years from now, I would bet that it's highly likely that Ethereum would have outperformed Bitcoin probably by a lot in 5 years and in 10 years.
But I think majority of the, I guess the audience overall would be invested in a basket of things, right? So
Yeah.
let's just say Ethereum, yes, 100%. So you're saying, let's say allocate a majority of your portfolio to Ethereum and then look at something else, or you're
I,
saying like,
I'm not telling you to do anything. I hope that you guys hear my arguments and you incorporate it into your strategy. But yeah, man, I just don't think it makes sense to hold any Bitcoin at any point because yes, in a bear market, Bitcoin will do better than alts. When everything's going down, Bitcoin will do better than Ethereum. It will do better than everything. Actually, during the correction, Ethereum held the 200-day EMA and SMA, and Bitcoin didn't for a large period of time. But aside from that, yes, in a downtrend, Bitcoin will do better than anything else. In an uptrend, almost everything will do better than Bitcoin. Who in the space is here to invest in a bear market? No one. And we're all here to capture the gains of a bull market. And in a bull market, alts will outperform. And I think Ethereum is the best combination of long-term staying power and performance. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if that answered your question, but
it does answer, but I think you're missing a couple things.
okay.
I think you're focused a lot on returns, but
Yeah.
managing the risk is also something that I think people should 100%, especially if they don't know. I think majority of the audience doesn't, does not really well versed in technical analysis. So I don't think they would have to like mainly, talk to or watch videos or whatever the case might be. I think my outlook on it is that at all costs, protect your money. I think majority of people lose money when they just focus too much on returns. So mine is a bit, I guess, more. I wouldn't say too conservative, just maybe somewhere in the middle. And I would say if you want something to hedge against those big drops, it's like a major allocation of your portfolio needs to go to something solid, not just fully altcoins that will blow up. Otherwise, when the bear market comes, this just dropping heavy. And again, you want to capitalize on the, on returns in the bull market, then that means you're going to sell after the bull market is done and there's some sort of reversal coming. So again, if you're holding for a long time, what does it mean? Like if it's going to go high up and then drop 80%, the next year, I just wasted a whole year of my whole existence when I just could have capitalized now on is just recycling through the whole thing.
Yeah,
I think if you don't know much, which I think majority of the audience doesn't really know much about technical
you
analysis,
should choose to make less money with Bitcoin.
not less money with Bitcoin, 100%. I want to protect them. I don't want them to lose their money when they go and put their money somewhere in like January, February, and things crash like that.
Okay,
And
so
again, I want to give them concrete, um, uh, uh, just because they don't really know much in terms of technical analysis. I would just say maybe look, overall, look at Ethereum 100%. Again,
yeah,
not financial advice.
I'm not buying what you're selling, man, because nobody's making money in a bear market. In a bear market, okay,
Yeah, but they're
Bitcoin,
selling. Like people are selling, obviously. People are losing money out there. Like I don't like, yeah, no one makes money in a bear market. I
but
get that. But how do you hedge
how do you
against
protect
drops?
yourself? Yeah,
Exactly.
through your investment
What
time
happened?
horizon, because in whatever
That's not
downtrend,
protection. That's extremely passive protect. Like that's not you're not doing anything
but then you're not
with
long
that.
term investing. If you care about short term dips, then you're a swing trader. If you came into this market with a plan to hold for everything for
I'm
five,
not swing trading. I'm talking, look at this thing. Took a whole, 2 years to actually push up.
yeah,
That's yeah, that's what, like you're either telling like what's your investment horizon? Like 10 years?
I
20
think
years?
well again it's are we talking about myself or another person?
I'm
I
talking
what I'm
about
trying to
in
do.
general. Like we get your like. I think we both can afford to just kind of put our money a lot into altcoins. Like yes, but I'm talking in terms of someone that's new to the space, right? Like what would they do? Like
I think people should make an effort to catch a bull market and take profits throughout the uptrend. I see a lot of good points here. One additional point in favor of the Bitcoiners, which is Bitcoin is the first mover, which is very true. Which often, when things start to pick up in the market, Bitcoin will move first and then the altcoins. That's a very good point. So, in certain periods of a bull market, it will be Bitcoin going up, and then maybe later alts will catch up. So I'm not making the case for the like every altcoin. I'm making the case for like specific altcoins, things like more solid ones, Ethereum, Chainlink, like those things. Long-term staying power will outperform. So that's something I would add. And in terms of like risk mitigation, man, like look, I'm not telling people what to do, but you got to have a plan. You got to have an idea of your investment time horizon. Make a plan, stick to it, and what was your point? What was your
my
point?
point is just holding and not doing shit is a lazy way of investment. Hodl. I
Yeah,
hate I hate overall how the crypto space is just married to hodl. Just don't do anything. Just hold it. That's all you gotta do. But I'm like, okay, you want to make money? Well, you can. There's a couple things we can do here. We can protect, like at least some sort of protection to the money. Something, like something to be put there that doesn't move as crazy.
yeah.
And it doesn't have to be Bitcoin. In my opinion, Ethereum could be a huge part of that. But again, I just think, how do you hedge against a risk
With
besides not doing anything about it?
well, then you have to actively manage things, man.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's how you mitigate your risk. You have to actively manage your portfolio, and you have to have a long investment time horizon. I think if you did those two things with Bitcoin and Ethereum, your ETH bags would outperform. And now I also see someone here in the comments saying, "Dude, what are you guys talking about? Anyone who practices TA can make money in a bear market." Yeah, yeah. We're not talking about trading. We're talking about long-term investing. Like this whole discussion is about long-term investing, not active buying and selling. That's trading. That's a different discussion. Yeah, in a bear market, you can make money with trading at any time. We're talking
Anytime.
about long-term investing here. I see
Yeah.
someone saying Brandon is losing it. LOL. I don't think I'm losing it. I think I'm right. I don't know how I'm very passionate. I want to argue my point of view passionately, but I don't know what you mean there.
We're about to take this off camera. You guys do not get this.
Yeah,
we're
and
about to take,
look, one last thing here. So Pull Frisch is saying, I guess we got to learn how to time the top.
you can't.
You can't.
Nah, yeah, you can, I guess. Yeah, you can.
I think I
It
called
takes
the
a lot
top.
of technical analysis expertise, I guess.
Um, I think it does, and I think I called the top by 12, 15%
You.
with the 50-day estimate. Yeah, unfortunately, Did not listen to my own advice. So this is because I would be bragging so much more about this if I'd followed my own advice. I don't bring this up much because I did not follow my plan. Like I had a plan and I didn't follow it, and it's one of my biggest regrets. Next time, either if it's a couple months or a couple years from now, we get another bull market, I'm sticking to a plan, a pre-made plan, come hell or high water. But folks, like I called the top with Bitcoin more or less with the 50 daily SMA. I said if we lose this thing, get daily candles fully closing below it, I'm out of the market. Unfortunately, I did not listen to my own fantastic advice. Like I called the top by 13%. I said if we lose this thing, I'm selling, I'm out. I did not listen to myself. I had a plan that I didn't stick to, and I held throughout this downtrend. And I could have saved myself all this pain if I had stuck to my original plan. So there are ways to call the top. And folks, look, not financial advice, but in our VIP disc group, we have a take profit strategy where I share the factors I'm considering. Don't listen to us, but I'm just sharing the factors I'm considering when trying to take profits when it comes to long-term investing. So folks, become a VIP disc group member if that sounds interesting to you. But yeah, man, no, look, I think there's ways to call it top.
100%, I do think so too. But I'm just saying and I guess that's the thing. When it comes in terms of who's watching, in terms of what's, I guess, if we're talking, if you're a trader or you're someone that understands technical analysis, a completely different topic. But if someone that's coming new to the market, I don't think they can properly call a top. I don't think they can do anything basically, but they want to invest in this market. So you're like, okay, look at your horizon, look at this and this and that. And I think this is actually pretty good, man. I think we should do a couple of videos talking about like how do you actually, properly, maximize your gains while also as well protecting your money. You being extremely new, you being, you have some sort of understanding of the market. You can read a chart, you can see some important levels, and something else was like, you actually, heavily, I think, technical analysts would have no problem overall, actively managing this. But if you're new, then I think there's a couple of, extra steps that you gotta pay just because you're new to the space, and there's a lot of risk in this space. So I don't think a new person, like just came into the crypto space can call it up. So I guess it depends. I guess we gotta identify who is the investor and what are we addressing.
Yeah. So what's the real debate here? Which is how is the question? What's the best way a new person could approach long-term investing in the space? That's the question. Correct?
I would say so. I think it's a very lengthy one. We pushed an hour and 10 minutes right now, but definitely something that we gotta, I guess, probably talk to and let us know, guys. What are things that you take into account that people that you use to just kind of protect your money or maximize your gains? Do you kind of mix and match? Do you have a basket of different things? Do you have are you spread out kind of evenly all across your portfolio, or do you have something where you give more allocation to just because you like it? Or because you think that if it drops in the bear market, it might not drop a lot? How do you guys let us know in the comments? It's pretty interesting to see what people would say.
And I'd also just want to say, guys, if you disagree with me, please let me know in the comments, because when I hear how you guys are reacting, how I speak, I learn how to better frame things. Because when I'm trying to make an argument, I probably don't frame things as clear as I could in regards to what I'm trying to say, the point I'm making. Because like during that discussion with Bitcoin and Ethereum, Buddy was saying you can make money through trading in a bear market. So folks, point is, if you guys disagree with me or mess in any way, let us know. I really like hearing your guys' point of view as well. So what are you guys saying? So see, Eric Hall is saying we should be accumulating in the bear market, 100%. Bear market's a great time for long-term accumulation. Pool Fresh is saying take profits off the bull run and accumulate until next run. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I think maybe for newer people as well, if you're up 50%, 100%, I mean, it makes sense to take profits whenever you're up as well. If you're not good at calling a top. Yeah.
Stay away. Stay away.
Yeah.
But again, man, you guys, you want to show the people the website, man? We're pushing here an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, guys. So we're gonna start to wrap it up. We said we're gonna go half hours. It's been over an hour.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, like and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoy our back and forth, and please let us know how you disagree, if you disagree with us. Also, so guys, look, we finally published our website. I invite all you guys to check it out. It's www.aMillionortheMoon.com. All right, we have a lot of, it's basically a massive shill fest where, you know, we're just shilling all our stuff. We have an about page if you guys want to learn a little bit more about me and Messin. Make sure you check that out. We have an important links page where you guys can check out some of the major links we put out there. So definitely check that out. We also have a brief description of our VIP Discord group. So if you guys are maybe curious about our VIP Discord group, want to learn more, definitely check out the website. This is actually a little snippet from our Take Profit channel where I shared one of the things I look out for when trying to formulate a take profit strategy. Again, guys, whenever you're trying to find where an uptrend will end, you know, find a moving average that holds the support. As soon as we lose it, it's typically end, and we provide examples from back in 2017 as well. So, you know, in this, if we would have followed this strategy again, it would have called the top by 13%. Over here is where we post kind of setups that we're looking at. Here we called the local bottom at 1600 and bought the local bottom at 1600 before Ethereum's run up to $4,400. So folks, tons of valuable stuff in our VIP disc group. None of this is financial advice. Don't listen to a word we say. But if you guys just want another perspective on the market, if you guys want to support us, definitely become a member. Definitely check out our website if you guys want to read through these posts a little bit more in detail. And we're also going to be updating our website much more in the future, adding different sections. One thing I want to add in the very near future here is a watch list of some of our favorite altcoins that we're looking at, so we can track it over time. What price did we call it? How did it perform over time? So you guys have something concrete that you guys can look at. What's on our watch list? What are we looking at? So definitely, you know, go to our website, favorite it, because we're going to be adding more and more stuff moving forward. So if you guys go check it out, we definitely appreciate it. That's pretty much it for me.
There we go, guys. So that's what it is. If you want to keep up with us, I think that's going to be our main update. If you want to check out our updates to see what we're looking at overall, the website is definitely something you need to look at. And again, if you want to get to know us more, maybe we'll put out some some blogs there, whatever. Just share our thoughts in general, talk about whatever we got on the market. And yeah, guys, check out our VIP Discord, check out our Discord community overall. We have a great community, and we would love for you to be a part of it. And again, man, these live streams are fun. If you like the back and forth, make sure you hit that like button. We got a lot more, and now I'm actually looking forward every week for these kind of live streams, man. I feel like we got so much to say. And again, appreciate you guys watching. Let us know, send us messages, whatever the case might be, emails, whatever whatever the hell you want. And yeah, thank you for watching, man. I don't know, this is pretty much it for me.
I would say to you, man, I also want to say thank you to you for being there to argue with me.
I love arguing with you, and I love arguing with you, man.
I very much like having a different point of view to, verbally, hash through differences with. I appreciate the hell out of all of you guys. Even if you disagree with something I'm saying, something Messin's saying, it's all in an effort to better explore and navigate this market. It's great if you guys disagree with me. I love hearing your different points of view. It helps me better frame things, both in argument, how I think of things myself. So definitely, you guys are the best. You guys are, our crypto.
And more importantly, sorry to cut you off. Most importantly is that we do a hell lot of research about everything we talk about, but we don't claim to be experts like everybody else. And we are constantly learning, and we constantly, we're always have that, a bit of space that we could be wrong. And we always operate on that. So, it's genuine, people. We like what we're doing, and we like you for joining it. And yeah.
Man, the more I learn how much I don't know. Confidence is really dangerous because there's so much to know, so many different nuances, so many different factors. Guys, we're just here, just like you guys, trying to learn about this space and how to best navigate it. We're pretty experienced, we're pretty practiced. Hopefully, if you guys watch this, you guys get to hear a different perspective that you guys can consider some of the things we consider as well. You guys are the best for being here. Please like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon to be notified of new uploads. Sometimes if you're not subscribed with the bell icon turned on, you won't get notified of future uploads. Guys, we live stream every Sunday. We're going to do market breakdown, Q&A, portfolio update, and we'll also let you guys know the more we add further functionality to our website. Guys, if you want to support us, want more access to ourselves, become my VIP Discord member. None of it's financial advice, but if you just want a little bit of a different perspective, if you want access to ourselves, click on the link down below in the description. You get access to our Patreon. I think I've said thank you quite enough times here. So that's it for me, folks. Until next time, take care.
It's not working.
Do you have
Man.
the
I had a whole
soundboard?
sound.
Is that the
Yeah,
soundboard?
it's not working. Guys, thank you for watching. Appreciate you. Have a great night. Stay smart. Stay active.
Peace.
Stay hydrated. I'm not done.
Go ahead.
Stay hydrated and be safe. Thank you.
Drink water. Don't be like Messi.